Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are well. Welcome to FFTV with me, Francis Green. And today we're going to go over a few things. But as you've seen by the thumbnail, it's a comment about Danny Mills and what he has been saying recently. I have just got to do something because I've got a guest coming on in about 15 minutes. A lot of you are familiar with him as well. So I just need to make sure that obviously I get the link because the link has now changed. I'm not sure whether it changed on your side, but it did on my side. The link did change on my side, which was a bit strange, really. Really didn't understand why the link changed. I had to change it. Let me just do this right in front of you and get our guest on in a bit. But first of all, you know the drill. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment. Really do appreciate it. Sorry, just got to do this again right in front of your faces. Here we go. And today we're going to speak about what Danny Mills has said. As we know, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to work everything around this because you are in the front of my screen. As you know, Danny Mills has been having a little bit of a go, or shall we say go, or just his opinion about, there we go, I think I've done it now. Just his opinion about Ben White. So we're going to go over the Arsenal news. We'll go over a few other things that are going on in you know what, the world of football. But I just thought that Danny Mills, the comments that Danny Mills made, some have taken out of the out of proportion. Some are understanding his comments. Some are just saying it's because Henry absolutely embarrassed him. Goes back He's bitter because of his history with Henry, his history as a player. He wasn't the best, but he did do well. He did get to a higher level than myself, so I can't really criticize him. But on the flip side, does he have a point? Does Danny Mills have a point? But before we get into it, I just want to obviously go through all the comments that people are coming in. As always, support is magnificent. Craig's popped in. He said, big up, Fran. How's it going, bro? How the F did Danny Mills play for England? I do not know. I don't think no one knows that. Wilson's put, your friends, I hope that you are staying safe and doing well, as always, and I hope you are too. Big up from Josh. Wilson's also put, the weather is absolutely boiling yet again. Yeah, I love the sun. So Sentiments put, Fran, Tammy, Lammy, Lame, listen. Brahms, listen, let's not go there on that Tammy, but he will get a mention. Lily's obviously put, just imagine Tammy Abrams, Chris Wood, Akifenwa as Burnley sticks. Thoughts I would die. God, that would be, it wouldn't be nice to play against. I know that, but it wouldn't be very pretty on the eye. Tony C's popped in again. Really do appreciate it. He's put, yes, he's bitter after Thierry Henry done up like a kipper that day. Everyone remembers it year after year. Yeah, it could be the one reason. Danny Mills is bitter and talking crap about Ben White's move to Arsenal. Josh put, he's still haunted by Henry's nutmeg. And Ben White, 50 million to Arsenal. Kabak Younger, 8 million to Leicester. Interesting. Very interesting with a lot of what's going on in and around the football world at the moment. I was just popping on Curtis's channel. He was mentioning, did you hear me right? Is that better now? Just realized that my mic is away. Just realized that people are talking about 30 million for Ramsdale and all this stuff, and then 50 million for White, etc. But first of all, let's just start off by going on what Danny Mills actually said. Now, Danny Mills said when it was coming out, Danny Mills said he thinks that Ben White should be going to a bigger club with more ambition or willing to can win things. You know, that's what he just put. Oz, I'm just going to put this up. Ozzy's a new one, so make sure we all say yo to your Oz in the chat. Thanks for popping in. He's put, big up, Fran. First time I've caught a live video of yours. Hope you are well. Thank you ever so much, and we hope that you are well as well, Oz. And thank you ever so much for coming in. Hope we've got you at the right time. So he's saying that Danny Mills is saying that Ben White should have maybe waited out for a bigger club. He should have pushed for other clubs to go for him. Now, there was rumors that Man United, there was rumors that Chelsea, and there was rumors that Man City were interested in him, and rightly so, because he's a very, very good player. And to question the player's ambition because he's going to Arsenal amongst the other three, for me, has a valid point, but doesn't have a valid point. For me, I think that Ben White wants to play football at a better club than he is at Brighton. Arsenal gives him that platform. He's not in Europe. He's not in Champions League. Limelight will be on him. A lot of pressure will be on him. But I'm going from when I was a player. Danny Mills was a player, played for England, believe it or not, and played Premier League, believe it or not. He was a player, so he's thinking, he has the way that he thinks, his beliefs, which is fair enough. He thinks about it in a different way to me. I'm thinking, I'm playing now. I'm Ben White. I can go to Man United. I can go to Man City. I can go to Chelsea. I can win things, and I can get a nice 5-year contract, and I can tell everyone I'm at Chelsea, Man United, Man City, but I might only play 20 games a season. And if I don't hit the ground running and I don't smack it, then there's the Varane, there's Maguire, there's Stones, there's Diaz, there's Zuma, Silva, Christensen, all ahead of him at these clubs. So he's got to go in there and be absolutely world-class at times to keep his place. Now, don't get me wrong. Some would say, well, Fran, there's what you mean by lacking ambition. Does he not believe in himself? Does he not want to push himself? Of course he believes himself, and he will think he's the best centre-half going since sliced bread, let's be honest. But he's got to be realistic. As much as you are confident and you believe in your ability, you also have to have a humbleness about you and realise that I have to get to that level. I can't just walk in the building and I'm going to be that level, because there's ego coming in, and ego will get in the way of you progressing of where you need to get to. So for me, Ben White has made a good decision to go to an Arsenal, because it's a platform up from Brighton. It's still a world-class club. Everyone knows about Arsenal. If he goes, Arsenal does well, he's then worth 80 million, because that's what Arsenal will be looking at. Arsenal will be looking to try and get 80 million for Ben White, 90 million for Ben White. That's what they want to do. They want to make him a better player. He's a ball-playing midfielder and centre back. He's going to play as long as he's doing well and fit. He's going to play at Arsenal. At other clubs, he could be doing well, he could be fit, and he may not get game time because of the standard what he's at these clubs. So for me, Danny Mills, I understand his point, but he's not looking at it from Ben White's point of view. He's probably looking at it from his own point of view. He's not looking at it he's saying, well, what would I do if he was a player? But you're not Ben White. So you need to look at it what Ben White wants to do. And if he thinks that Arsenal is the best step for him, then that's the best step for him. For you to question his ambition, I think is out of order. I think that's out of order, because you can go to Man United and play 10 games, or you can go to Arsenal and play 35, 40 games. You can go to Chelsea and play 15 games, or go Arsenal and play 40 games. Go Man City, you might get 10 games. So when you're talking about ambition to win things, you know, let's win a Premier League and play 5 games. No one talks about you. No one knows about you. You won't get in the England squad. Let's go Man United and be third choice behind Varane and Maguire. And maybe not win anything at Man United. And play 20 games and might not play for England. He needs to be playing as much football as possible. So I think the move for Ben White to Arsenal is great for Arsenal and great for Ben White. A lot of people are saying, do you think he's worth 50 million? You got to think in the market, in the day and age, 50 million for me might be 5 million over. I think if you say 40 to 45, people are like, they can see it. As soon as you say 50, it's a psychological thing. 5-0 looks very different from 4-5 or 4-8. Like 99p store looks a lot different from the pound store. You know, it's one of those. It's a psychological thing. So I just think people are looking at it and think 50 million, you could have got this, you could have got that, you could have got this, you could have got that. But every single player, single signing is very, very, very different. So for me, I think he's got it wrong when he questions his ambition. Now, Danny Mills seems to have, I want to say a vendetta, but he never really has anything good to say about Arsenal. And for me, that's him. How can I put it? That's him maybe not realizing, and he's being subconscious when it comes to his decision. He's being biased, and he don't really know he's being biased because he's not worked on himself, or he's not worked on whatever he needs to work on, self-development, to understand that he's being biased. It's a subconscious thing. We all do it. We've all done it in the past. We all do it in our lives. It's a subconscious thing. And I don't think he's aware that he has a vendetta or a little bit of bias and bias towards Arsenal. I actually think that Arsenal cannot do anything right in Danny Mills' mind. Now, he's saying that he's seen Ben White and he's seen him for at Leeds and he was tremendous and he should have got so-and-so to buy him. You got to remember, Man United, Chelsea, Man City, 9 times out of 10, if they're going to go in the first team for 50 million, they want ready-made. That's what they want. They want ready-made. And you must understand that Arsenal at the moment need to buy projects. 50 million is an expensive project, but Arsenal need a project. So that's why they've gone for White. So I'll just go through a couple of your comments. Here we are. Might not be able to get through them all. Far from Trossard at Arsenal, very good player. Brandon's put big up Fran. Danny Mills just bitter. He hates Arsenal. How did Danny Mills play for England? I remember. I do not know. Believe me, I do not know. What honours did Mills win? League Cup. Not sure. Was he involved in the Champions League or maybe not? That was before then. Josh has put, what right does he have to slander Arsenal when he only won a League Cup at Peterborough? Well, I didn't even know if he was at Peterborough. I don't even think he was at Peterborough. Maybe it was against Peterborough. Listen, he can have his opinion. He can have, of course, we all have to respect that he has his opinion. But I just think subconsciously he has a bit of a dig at Arsenal quite a bit. Tony's put, Ben White is far from finished article. If he went to City, he would not have started every week. It's better he plays and develops at Arsenal. 100%. I think that's what's a good move footballing wise. Danny Mills clearly has got an agenda against Arsenal and cannot stand the man. I mean, I'm not just going to say Danny Mills has got an agenda against Arsenal. Danny Mills ever watches this, he may come across it because I'm a fellow footballer. I just don't agree with his way of thinking about football. It seems to me very prehistoric and predictable of the things that he's going to say. So that's my opinion on him. I imagine he's a great guy, but I'm just not a strong believer of his beliefs, and he won't be of mine. Why are some Arsenal fans moaning about getting Ben White for? I think the reason Arsenal fans are a little bit disappointed or moaning about Ben White is because they've not seen a lot of him. They don't understand how good a player he is, and they don't understand the dynamics of why we've gone for Ben White. Darren's put, White to Arsenal is a good move for the player. Great move. Danny Mills was totally out of order, questioning Ben White's ambition, in my opinion. 100% agree. That's the only thing that didn't sit right with me. You're questioning his ambition. What's he going to do? Go to a club where he's not really going to play? That's what I don't understand, you know? Go to a club where you're really not going to play. And some people might say, well, Fran, he's got to push himself. He's got to push himself. I fully get that. He's got to push himself, but he wants to be playing. He wants to be playing regular, don't he? Ashton's put, well, to be fair, he also applied that White would be a better fit for Man United than Varane, which is just ridiculous. Man United need ready now. White's a good player, but he's not ready now, is he, to go and start bossing the Premier League and the Champions League? Chris has put, that's weird. Your channel was live on YouTube on TV, but not on the laptop. Now it is. You know what it was, Chris? I had a stream already set up from earlier, which you probably would have seen in your notifications. And then for some reason it was echoing. So I had to redo another one and delete that one. So that's probably why. Lily's put, Brentford are out again with recruitment and scouting. Just signed Onyeka from Midtjylland, and 8 million now will guarantee he will be the next Indeed quality player, plays at either 8 or 6. Lily's got great knowledge with overseas players, so we'll have to look out for that. But Brentford do great at scouting, really do. 50 million for Big Ben at 20 to 30 million. Do you think he's worth 20 to 30 million? 20 million now don't get you nothing. 20 million gets you Nketiah, and he can't trap a bag of cement or hit a barn door. We know what about that one is. Are you Guna? All I can say is Ben White is Arteta signing. It's all up to manage to get the best out of him, 100%. This is put, Danny Mills, Arsenal hater. So are most pundits. Lineker, Keane, and many of us Arsenal fans are used to the media. I do notice that there are a lot of biased pundits. I don't think you can be biased, you know. I think you can, you know, you've got to be open-minded. You've got to really be open-minded. So there's a little salt with Mills. He could call Bellian for the Salt Bay. Kinect did wonders for ABBA. Ashton's put his punditry's bottom barrel stuff like Janus and Sherwood also have an agenda showing favoritism for or against player or club. Yeah, we'll leave that one about JJ. Chris, never take a notice of Danny Mills. Didn't rate him as a Premier League quality player. Certainly not good enough for England. He views us. Yeah, he was just a standard player, wasn't he? Yeah, it was Middlesbrough. Was it Middlesbrough? Right. Can't even remember him now. That's how poor he was. Middlesbrough, not Peterborough yet. Wilson's put, I would absolutely be fuming if Arsenal signed Ramsdale and Abraham. I'm not convinced by the two. They are not good enough. And Lord Nicholas Bentner, sorry. What is happening? Hope you are well. Level-headed gooner, as always. 20 million wouldn't even buy you, Fran, nowadays. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. 20 million wouldn't. Honestly, unbelievable. Apparently, Chelsea youngster Lewis Bat is set to have a medical today. Interesting. Arteta and Edu have just been delivered this summer. Otherwise, things will get worse. Simple as that. And Thomas from Norway, great global. Big up, Fran. Big up yourself. So I am getting someone going to come in for 15 minutes. He can only stay in for 15 minutes because he has a few chores to do. So hopefully he will be coming on soon. And we're just going to go over a few things. Ashton's put, do I know Jermaine Janish? Yes, from the same city. He's my cousin's age, used to hang around with my cousin, and his school was over the field from my school, but he's about 3 years younger than me. But yeah, I know him really well. Used to do some work for his company as well. He has a teaching company. So yeah, I know JJ, known him, since we're kids, so, a long time. Which player do you prefer, Tony or Edward? I would go for Tony. He understands the English game. He's a lot more physical. Probably going to get a little bit more out of him. What do you make of Tammy? PS, thanks, Ada Tip on Twitter. Yeah, we've had a little boost at the minute. How beast. I'm just in a trade which I am losing at the moment, so I am not happy with that. However, we will see how it goes. But there you go, a little Ada Tip. Yeah, probably making a little bit of profit now if you've brought a little bit. We may see a massive rise, but we may see a rise and then another dump before a huge rise and then a huge dump in the crypto space. So yeah, just waiting for someone to come on. Hope that they get on pretty soon because I know that they're busy. So Danny Mills, for me, I think he's had an agenda. I think he probably doesn't realize he's doing it, or he does realize that he's doing it. He's just doing it subconsciously, or he's plain ignorant to the fact that he just doesn't like Arsenal for whatever reason. And that Megs will always live with him for the rest of his life when he got twisted, absolutely twisted, chicken and mushroom, as we call it on the streets, twisted into two pieces. So now let me just go on to a lot of these rumors that are flying around. So wait. So few rumors flying around. I've seen the one about Leon Bailey today. We've seen the one about Awar. We've seen the one might be going Liverpool. We've seen Neves might be going Man United now. Henderson being linked with Arsenal. All these crazy things. But I don't really want to get into, I'm not really going to get into the transfers yet until I've just had a quick word with my mate. A lot of you will already know this absolute legend in the stream. Let me just get his absolute dish on because you will know who he is. Here he is.
Yo.
What's happening, mate? You okay?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
Good. Most of the peeps in here, they're from your channel anyway, mate. So they already know you. So here you go, people. You're happy to see Curtis on. What's happening, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm just burning like everyone is in England,
Burning, mate, especially with these lights on, yeah?
Yeah, it's bad. The
Sweatbox, yeah. So I know you've got, obviously, you've only got 15 minutes, Kurt.
Yeah.
I popped on yours earlier. Obviously, I just want, from the thumbnail, I want to run over quickly, obviously, Danny Mills. We've already spoke about him obviously saying that he thinks White lacks ambition by going to Arsenal, which I thought was a little bit disrespectful. And maybe he's not thought about actually what he said there. And then I'll let you go, and then I'll just go on to a couple of rumors if we don't have time, obviously, to get them in. So initially, I know the interview was probably about 48 hours ago. There's been a lot of memes with Henry twisting him up, as we know, and the usual stuff. When you first heard that, what were your initial thoughts?
I think, first of all, man, like, Danny Mills is an irrelevant player, isn't he? Ex-player.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And listen, he played much higher than I played, so who am I to say that to him? But let's be honest, no one ever talks about Danny Mills. So, first of all, he works for TalkSport. TalkSport like controversy. Danny Mills is a player that Arsenal fans probably don't like. And he knows that Arsenal fans are very reactive and emotional. If you start saying something about Arsenal fans, they're going to attack you, bro. You know what I mean? So he knows what he's doing. He's playing the game there. And then in terms of what he said about Ben White, I think he needs to rewind a little bit here, man. Ben White was in the Championship just over a year ago at Leeds. Do you know what I mean? So for him to go to Arsenal is a great opportunity. I know a lot of us are frustrated with Arsenal, but Ben White must be sitting there. I'm hearing we've offered him 100 grand a week, doubled his wages.
Yeah.
5-year contract. He's an England international. It's gonna make it easier for him to get in the England squad playing for Arsenal than Brighton. I think he was saying, wasn't he, that in 2 years maybe he would look to move again. I mean, it depends where Arsenal are in 2 years. If they progress, they're back in Europe, they're doing well, there's no need for it. And also, you know, he was linked with Man City and Chelsea. He's not getting in the Man City team with Ruben Diaz, and John Stones has just had a great season. And then Chelsea have got Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Zuma, Christensen. He probably doesn't get in that team either. So you don't go to a club you're not going to play. He's going to go to Arsenal. I think it's a great move for Ben White.
I mean, like you say, we've played, we know, and you've said exactly what I've already said in the stream, in the chat, really. He's not going to play by going to these clubs. So when you mentioned ambition, it's one of those, isn't it? Right. Well, okay, I might have a chance to win the Premier League, but I might play 10 games. I might get a Champions League medal if I'm lucky, but I might play 5 games. You know, he's always going to be third or fourth choice at these clubs. And you know the rotation, we know how it wants. So for him mentally, he's thinking, wait a minute, this is how I'm thinking. Then I'm thinking he's a young lad. Arsenal is a step up for me. I'm going to get in the England squad, right? I'm in it already. I'm going to play in it. I'm going to play 30, 40 games at Arsenal if I do the business. If I stay fit, I'm probably going to play. I'm going to be the best probably ball playing defender at the club. I'm going to play games. They're going to make me feel wanted. They're going to make me feel part of their journey. They're going to, you know, triple, double my dough or whatever it's going to be, even though it's not probably about money for him at the moment because he's like I say, he's only 24. Or he goes to one of these clubs and walks around with double the money and the car and that and say, well, did you play this weekend? No. And he's watching everyone else play. So for me, when you question his ambition, for me, that was the wrong thing to say because he's showing ambition because he wants to play every week. There's some players, as you know, that will get a paycheck and they don't care whether they play.
And they'll just sit there, And the thing is, Fran, I think Arsenal is one of the biggest like pressure cookers in the Premier League. Our fan base are so frustrated with the last few years. If Ben White comes in 50 million, gets ripped apart in the first few games, you got Ivan Toney the first game. I think we play Chelsea the next game, Werner, Havertz. Then we got Man City, you know, Foden, Sterling. If he has a bad first month, every Arsenal fan's going to go, what the hell did we spend 50 million on him for? Blah, blah, blah. I actually think he should be respecting Ben White and saying, listen, this guy could have stayed at Brighton. I'm comfortable, not a lot of pressure. I'm in the England squad. I might wait until a Chelsea come for me in a year or someone like that. He's took the challenge. He said, look, I can see that Arsenal's in a bit of a sticky situation, but I believe I can go there, improve, help them. I give him a lot of credit. I think he's stepping into a good situation for him, but it's a very pressurized situation as well. So I think Danny Mills he just clout chasing any which they do on Talk Sport.
I mean, Ashton's touched on it here, that what you've said. You would probably say playing for Arsenal, you get more of a spotlight than anyone else. He's going to be playing every week. So people are going to be expecting full 100 every week from him. He's a defender. He's not going to be megging people end of the box and whip it in the top corner. So you're going to have the other side of people who don't really watch the game properly and say, what we spent 50 million for. He goes to Man United or Man City or Chelsea. You can kind of hide a little bit. Hide a little bit because 50 million for those three, no one's even talking about you. 50 million for Arsenal, everyone's talking about it. So for me, I think Danny Mills has got it wrong. I really, really do. Just want to touch on a few other things before you go. I know you've got to shoot off, but you mentioned it on your channel. I don't know if you did. You went over Neves. Apparently now Man United are favourites to try and get Neves. Now we've gone quite quiet on that recently. Do you think that we're not interested no more? Do you know? maybe it stopped before it even started. What's your thoughts on that? And I know you like him as a player as well.
I like him. Do you know what it is? I've always got the impression that Arsenal want this Locatelli more than any other midfielder.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense because he's saying, I don't want to go to Arsenal. Or he's saying, I want Juventus, but if Juventus don't buy me, I might come to Arsenal. So he clearly wants a ball-playing centre mid. I think we spoke about this a few times. So everyone's saying Basuma, we want Basuma, but he wants a ball player like an Aouar, a Neves, a Locatelli. So they've gone for Locatelli. He looks like he's going to go Juve. But then you've got Aouar sitting there at 25 million when last year he was worth 50 million. And then you've got Ruben Neves sitting there. And all of a sudden, it looks like Man United are going to go for him. Apparently, Bruno Fernandes has been bigging him up, saying he would be ideal next to Pogba and all this, that, the other. Man United are swooping in for him by the look of it. So I said this before, Arsenal got to be careful. If they're banking on getting this Locatelli, who I think will end up in a Juventus shirt, and now Aouar's being linked with Liverpool and Tottenham, and Neves ends up there, we could end up with egg on our face where you had three options, but you've ended up with none of them. So they need to be careful. They need to be careful. It could end up with a Buendia part 2 where we miss out and go somewhere else, Well,
it's strange that United have come in because they only have Bruno Fernandes really who wants to play that way. Pogba likes to get involved, but he's different obviously from Neves. And then I've just seen before I come on, paper talk again, that Barcelona might be interested in McTominay. So it looks like we're going around an absolute strange one, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Never in a million years.
If Barcelona get McTominay, then I'm telling you, mate, boots are coming out.
Bro, if McTominay goes to Barcelona, right, I'm doing 5K runs every morning. I must be able to get in League 2 or something.
100%, mate. I'm getting another 5-year deal. I'm telling you. Obviously, quick one. Aouar, Liverpool now are interested in him more than anything. Do you think that is, again, we're not pushing these players because we want Locatelli, we wanted White, and then the rest are scraps? What do you think?
I never understand Arsenal, the way they do business. Like, it seems from afar, you just think to yourself, surely you would sit down, identify, that's number 1 target, that's 2, that's 3. If one's not looking good, we go and get number 2 or we go and get number 3. It's like we just say, I want that player. And if I don't get that player, we probably won't buy anyone else, which is just a strange way of doing business. Listen, if Liverpool go in for Aouar's going to go to Liverpool. It's that simple.
100%.
Champions League. You know what I mean? How can Arsenal compete with that? They got no chance. I don't understand why we move so slow. This is, for me, a buyer's market. If you've got a little bit of cash on the hip right now, you can go and enjoy yourself. We're in a pandemic. The French league's in massive financial problems. The TV deal collapsed over there. I think apart from PSG, a lot of them French clubs are struggling. The guy's available for 25 mil. Apparently, we loved him. We chased him all last summer, and now we don't seem to. One day it says we're going to get him. The next day we're not. Darren says, lucky dip. I'm telling you, them man are pulling
for Arsenal. Now, I think this comment, I personally think that because you're not an Arsenal fan, it's a little bit biased, which is, I understand. But you got to remember, Go Vegan, that Tam Abrahams is not good enough for an Arsenal. He might be good enough for a bottom 3rd Premier League team. But for me, I think Tammy Abraham is that probably would do well in the Championship, but not in the Premier League. And he's in the middle. He's kind of in the middle. We've seen him. He had a great opportunity at Chelsea. Soon as it started going wrong, he wasn't good enough. He couldn't deal with the pressure. He was out, and his career is probably over at Chelsea. So it's good to obviously get other people from other clubs in the chat. I appreciate that. And it's always good to answer their questions as well. But yeah, I just think that we're moving very, very slow. Like you say, Kurt. And then finally, the Henderson one. Like, you made some few good points on Henderson. For me, he's proven me wrong. He's probably proven himself wrong. He's probably proven 90% of football fans wrong of how good he has actually been over the last 3-4 years. But like you say, he's got 2 years left. We're going to have to pay a fee. He's going to want 150, 170 a week. You might get 2 years out of him. But from a financial point of view, it's bad business again. That's what I think. It's just bad business. Not that he's not a good player, because I would have him. But the finance side of it for me would put me off that deal.
Oh, 100%. Like it's crazy because like I said earlier, you look at our midfield outside of Partey, there's nothing there at the moment. We don't know how good Lokonga is, so I'm not putting him in that bracket.
Yeah.
Henderson would get in Arsenal's midfield. But
100%.
You're throwing money at something where there's going to be no return financially. You can't sell Henderson in 2 years and get your money back.
Yeah.
And second of all, he's just had a very injury hit season. So is he at that age now where he's been, I saw a report that players and especially midfielders who play in Jurgen Klopp's system for a long period of time, they tend to develop muscle injuries the longer they play in it, because it's one of the most intense systems to play in. Yeah. So it catches up with people. So Henderson now at 31, this might be having the effect on him now. For me, man, like if you're getting him on a free transfer for a year to help the squad, I could kind of see the logic. But with a fee and a big contract, it doesn't look good. And I don't like Arsenal going to these clubs that we're supposed to be competing with, even though we're not, but we should be.
Yeah.
And going and taking their players that they're throwing
lazy.
out.
For me, it's lazy. Lazy recruitment. Lazy recruitment. Desperate, lazy recruitment. So before you go, one question. Answer this for Lily. You know who I'm picking. Come on, Kurt. Abraham or Tony?
No, do you know what?
Tony would be probably round about the same price.
He would.
Because of he's become the best Championships goal scorer in a calendar year or something. So who would you go for?
No, I would rather go for a Tony, because I feel like if he can transfer that quality into the Premier League, he's going to be a heck of a player. Yeah, that's the only question mark over him. Can you move that to the Premier League? That's the difference. With Tammy, honestly, he's another one of them players for me. I've watched him for years. He banged goals in at Villa in the Championship, but he's not it for me. He's not it. Technically, I don't see it. And I just don't even see I don't even see the brain. And I know that might sound a little bit disrespectful. He's 6'4". I don't even see him use his body that well. He's not that good in the air. He's technically not great. All I say is he's a nuisance. He's probably awkward to play against for a centre back. But for 40 million, Tammy Abraham, no.
For me, Tammy Abraham is done all right in spells, like you say.
Yeah,
but he's that player who there's a league in between Championship and Premier League, and he fits in that league for me. and unfortunately, there ain't one. So for me, I'm going to go Tony all day. I think Tony would terrorize the Premier League if he was in the right team. He may struggle at Brentford. They will create chances, but they won't have a lot of the ball that they're used to in the Championship. So that I'm going to let you go because I know you've got to shoot off, Kurt. Really do appreciate you coming on. A lot of people in the chat absolutely love you coming on. So really do appreciate that, mate. And we'll speak later on this evening, pal.
Yeah, no worries. Big up, bro. Big up everyone in the chat as well.
Cheers, man. Top man. Top man. So great that Curtis come on. Really do appreciate that. Top man. Top man. So let's carry on. I mean, like you say, Brentford, also quickly, for those of you that are in the chat who don't follow Curtis, make sure you go over to Curtis's channel, Curtis Shaw TV. 90% of you have come over from his channel. Great support. So I really do appreciate that. But make sure you go and subscribe to, obviously, Big C's channel as well. Absolute legend in the YouTube and a huge Arsenal fan as well. So, again, we're speaking about players, Tony, Abrahams, People are always going to have loads of different opinions when it comes to Abraham. Me, I wouldn't touch Abraham with a barge pole. I don't think he's good enough. Hence, that's why he's not been able to get in the Chelsea team. He might be good at a Villa, and people will say, well, Villa are close to Arsenal at the moment. At the moment, Villa are close to Arsenal because of the transfer business. But over the last 10 years and 20 years, Villa are nowhere near Arsenal. But people have an argument at the moment, and the present moment, you could say so. So, like Lily's saying, Tony's finish yesterday was quality. Tony's a proper goal scorer. Ivan Tony got brought from a very young age from Northampton, went to Newcastle, didn't really do it, was too young, had a lot to do, very, very tricky, was very, very skinny, inconsistent at a young age, went on loan to all the League Two and League One clubs, did it the hard way, and knows the tough way of being a footballer, and has worked his way up. So the humbleness, the gratitude, and the down to earth that Tony will have is very different from kids that come from academies, play a few 10 games, get 20, 30 grand a week, and don't really do anything. You got to look to the fact that like Loftus-Cheek never really had to do it the hard way. Everything's been easy for him, and Loftus-Cheek for me was one of the best young midfielders I've ever seen in England, yet can't seem to kick on with his career. So for me, Tony all day, got the record for the Championship. People will say, well, Fran, when he comes up with Brentford, he might only score 10 goals. Well, he's going to come up with Brentford, who are never going to have the ball. They've got to survive. They're not going to create chances. So you can't expect him to score 15, 20 goals, because Lacazette can't score 15 goals playing for Arsenal, who create chances for fun. Never could have Aubameyang last year, whatever we did. So you got to think about what team they're in, Yeah, Big C, love that he's coming in. If Abraham is good, then Villa would have signed him. Maybe they would go back in for him. You don't know. Big up Fran and C. Did you see Tony's finish? Yep. Thomas, well, sign whoever Villa let us sign. Yeah, true. Social DRG. Thanks for popping in. Really do appreciate it. Put big up yourself, mate. If we wanted Tony, should have approached Brentford ages ago. Should have got him during the season, or put a bid in towards the end of the season. My first live stream on your channel. Thanks ever so much for giving me your time. As we know, time is our most important thing. John Page 3 has put, keep Laka. Abraham will not make us better. Nowhere near. Exactly, very true. Few people at Arsenal clearly don't want Tony. You know what it is? I think it's down to football snobbery again. I've got to be honest, Chris. You'd rather go for people like a Lokonga or people like a Tevez, who people don't really know about. People are not going to really question. They're going to be cheap, and then they'll go for someone that everyone else thinks about. So we will see. Umbueno is going to create chances for Tony. I hope so. Darren's put facts. Lily, that Onyeka is the same as Kante. I hope he does well. I'm interested to see Onyeka. Not seeing a lot about him. John Page 3's put, Abba needs to wake up. Sure does. Make Maddison happen. Nafi, if I had the powers to make Maddison happen, I would bring Christmas early. But I don't have the powers. And I just don't want us to try and just make him the highest paid player in the history just to get him, because I don't think he's that level yet. Al Beast, Brentford are going to blow doors out of Arsenal coming in with a bang. Could be interesting, and the pressure could... Imagine Tony scores 2, we lose against Brentford. John's put, sucks about the US tour, wanted to go to Florida for that Inter game. Are you American based, John? Because me and Curtis were thinking about trying to get out to the Florida Cup, but we couldn't because of travel restrictions. But now it's off. So, luckily we didn't book anything. Tony's put, Ian Wright got his chance late around 22 and he had plenty of hunger. Yeah, these players that come through the leagues. Lily's desperate for Trossard. Desperate. Absolute desperate. Silver line on that USA tour, at least we won't get beat every game. Silver line, yeah. And we need our players fit for the beginning of the season, Chris. John Page 3 put, hope Arsenal can get some quality pre-season games in. It's going to be interesting now. What they'll have to do, they'll have to phone around. Obviously, they've got links and get some other clubs that need games. That's what they're going to have to do pre-season to really get us fit, because now that that's changed, that's a good standard of opposition. Obviously, Everton are still going, Inter, etc. That's a good opportunity to play against players that you're going to probably playing against week in, week out. Very good on the ball, move the ball well. But it's all about fitness. We need to get fit. Ben White's going to come in and he's going to need some games. North Carolina, appreciate that, John. John's from North Carolina. Thomas from Norway's put, Edo will book us some quality games. Well, we hope so. Josh has put unfortunate. Yeah, we hope so. We need to be tested in games. For me, I would rather play 2 or 3 games to get you going early in preseason, and then I would like to play top teams to test ourselves. And I couldn't care less if we lose those. Couldn't care less. So Sarikin Dembele to Brentford is good enough. Is he good enough? Yeah, Sarikin Dembele is very good. He just needs to be a little bit more consistent, but he's a very, very good player. A lot of people are interested in him, but now he's got in the Championship. with Peterborough, people are going to hold fire, but he's still got a great opportunity. We normally play Barnet, sometimes posh pre-season. Yep. Not playing Barnet this year. What are your thoughts on Kabak to Leicester for 8 million? Another good piece of business. Another great piece of business. Great content as usual. Appreciate the love sentiment. Wilson. Sentiments put, it will be difficult to organise a pre-season with Palace offload Bellian or Reese off Watford, Brentford before the weekend. There's always going to be someone want to play Arsenal. Come on. There's always going to be someone who wants to play Arsenal, isn't there? You know, we can probably get our vets team, Forest vets, to have a little game against them. We'll probably beat them at the minute. Tony's put Abra and Laka maybe too comfortable and need some competition. That's exactly what they need. That's exactly what they need. Palace to go down, even though they make the signings and they've got Vieira. Yeah, we'll see. What are your thoughts on Brentford's new stadium? Brentford are moving in the right direction, let's be honest. They're trying everything possible to move in the right direction. This, from the scouting system to their recruitment process, to identifying players, to wage structure, to buying and selling on. They got the model of the Ajax. They got the model of the Dortmunds and teams like that buy, produce, sell, or buy, improve, sell. You know, that's what they've got going on. So fair play to Brentford. Chris has put bring their ass to Yaxley FC, the mighty Cuckoos. Hey, I remember playing Yaxley in pre-season many times. Many times. We also put 30 million for Ramsey is absolutely ridiculous. Also can do better than that. Come on, man. Shouldn't be paying 30 million for a keeper who's going to be number 2, but might be number 1. Just don't think he's good enough to be number 1. I really don't. Siyunchu, Kabak, or Turkish brick wall. Yeah. Weren't no brick wall in the Euros, was it? I can tell you that. Right then, peeps. I'm going to wrap it up. Now. We're just going to touch about 45 minutes. As always, figures are getting better. 23, 24 in at the moment. It's absolutely magnificent. Love the content. Love everyone getting involved in the chat. Excellent to obviously get Curtis on. Really do appreciate it. The little bit of a fee is make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you already haven't, and share. Make sure you share, because believe it or not, people don't know that the ex-footballer with all this knowledge and our great community is out there on YouTube. And YouTube needs to know about our content. Let's be honest, they need to know. So really do appreciate it. Lord Nicholas Bentner has put Ramsdale 30 million. Nice one, Fran. Great show. Palace front three, Eze when fit. Elias and Zars. Big up, Fran. Good talk, Fran. Keep it up, mate. From Thomas from Norway. So there you go. Really do appreciate everyone coming in. That is me. Make sure you stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening, which is very important. Spend some time with some family or be productive. Junior Fires just checking in. Sorry that you're a little bit late, mate, but we're just checking out now. But I appreciate you coming in. Just hit that like and that will do nicely. And if so, add Curtis' channel caption and get him to put it on his social, share, love, etc. Yeah, well, I'll put him in on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you do. Franny Green 6. And as Craig says, smash the like button and subscribe and share. And that is me for today. I am out, people. You take care.